And here is Dante James,
Oh my God.
who was at the same screening that I was at. Hey, Dante, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Very good.
Okay.
Just I'm still processing what we just saw.
Yeah, we all kind of walked out of it like I wanted to walk as we walked out of the screening. Paulie's like filming himself, like he posts on his channel. We're walking out of the screening. I'm like, I just want to get away from people so I can speak freely, because we were around a lot of the type of media that would are probably going to give this movie a good review. I will say
you can go ahead and say the shill media, because that's exactly who was there tonight.
Precisely. The shill media for sure, but like it was really interesting because like it was a tepid response through the film. There were moments where the movie had a big action sequence or something happened, and would be a moment to the crowd to react, and nobody reacted. No one reacted, and there was applause at the end, and I was like, for what? I have a suspicion we will get into spoiler territory. I want to keep it spoiler free, but I was just commenting on the thing that ruined the movie for me is Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She is like whatever you disliked about Brie Larson's character in Captain Marvel. It's worse. This is worse.
You know what? I have to agree with that. Look. I'm sure she's a fine actress in other things she's done. I think she was terribly miscast in this film. I think they're trying to make her something that she's not, unfortunately. And I think they're trying to force it in a way where when people watch this film, they're going to have the same kind of visceral reaction to her that we had.
So was she like smug or something, or was she just?
Oh no. Smug would have been great. I would have accepted smug. She's arrogant. She's doesn't care. She just is like, she's all, you know what she is? She's Han Solo from the first Star Wars, A New Hope. She doesn't care. She's just about the money. And you see is there going to be a little change of heart at the end? Well, you can see it coming from a million miles away, but she's just not likable.
But here's the thing. I didn't even buy her being, the person who was all about the money. Like, I didn't even buy her as that.
Exactly. It's so phony. And I cannot believe that they thought that this is something that's going to appeal to audience. And they make there are several parts of the film. She has this little companion named Teddy. He was fine. He's basically, yeah, he's like the Latin short round. And, was he Latin? I thought he was. Maybe he's
I thought he was Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern. Okay.
Or Moroccan, something like
Moroccan. All right, that makes me racist now. All right, great. I'm just saying he was actually fine. I didn't have a problem with him, but they have this running thread where she's just checking out guys. And there's a scene where she's on this boat and she finds like, the day's looking good. And she like finds like a flask. It's like, oh, even better. And a guy walks by he's just has no top on. And then it's like, hey, we landed at the right place. And there's like a bunch of like sexy men, like sexy foreign men. And you get the sense that she's just banging dudes left and right on her travels and uses that as her superpower. The other thing is she's quite physical in the film in terms of punching. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not gonna lie. I've been in situations where a woman has tried to be physical with me in kind of a joking way, and I always laugh. I'm like, you can't like, give it your best shot. Let's see. And so I just found none of it convincing.
But I think that kind of goes to the problem of nothing she did in that film seemed convincing. Like nothing seemed authentic with her.
Nothing.
I agree with you. She was the weakest part of the movie. I'm not saying it would have been, 1,000 times better with her not in it, because the story is still the story. But I think that she dragged that movie down quite a few notches.
I will say what I'm looking forward to is the sexual tension between her and Indy.
There isn't any.
Well, considering he's supposed to be her godfather, it's kind of
oh, that wouldn't stop the normal man.
Well,
talking about Indiana Jones here. Come on, he's got to take her to bed or something.
Well, like I could almost see a different actress, a more likable actress.
Yes.
Let's say this: Nicole Kidman, who's age appropriate for Harrison Ford. Stay with me. Nicole Kidman, who looks stunning. Have her almost do the same role and have there be some romantic tension. I could see that making sense. Just like in Top Gun Maverick, you see Tom Cruise, he has a romantic dalliance with Jennifer Connelly, a woman that is age appropriate, fun, bests him in some ways, makes him pay the bar tab. There's like sort of, they've got a good like tension going on. That worked. But another actress could, I think, pull this off. What has Phoebe Waller-Bridge that would convince you that it was a good idea to make her the co-lead? She's not a sidekick. She is co-starring with Harrison
Not even
Ford.
co-starring, man. I think the movie's more about her than him.
Bingo. That's what makes it like, and it's like it reminds me of, and this is okay, this is gonna maybe get nerdy for a second. It reminds me of when Captain Kirk, this is Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. There's a scene where Kirk has to leave the bridge and Spock puts a little tracker on him, on his back, and he just seems sort of like not all there. And it reminds me of just like Harrison Ford, he's sort of along for the ride, but he doesn't know, he doesn't know everything. He's not 10 steps ahead. She's smarter than he is. And it happens many times. It is so, everything that you have seen about the modern female lead in a movie that is annoying, it's all embodied in one character.
Yeah.
Played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
I will say, at D23, when they brought all this, brought everyone out, apparently this was all Harrison Ford's idea, casting her.
Really?
Yeah. Like she talked, they both talked about how, it was his idea. He brought her in, and there you go. Indy ruined Indy.
You mean it was Calista Flockhart's idea?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean?
My God.
Yeah.
But think about it. If you're Calista Flockhart, you don't want some super hot, charming woman working co-lead with your guy, right? So,
like Nicole Kidman, or someone said Naomi Watts. Even Ashley Judd. Greasy Guido says Ashley Judd.
Yeah.
I just think they could have cast someone opposite Harrison Ford that could have, she has no gravitas. She's irritating. And she also, the way that they like the way that she's so portrayed in it is just so unlikable. She is objectively unlikable. Someone there at the studio had to be looking at these rushes and sort of quick cutting together scenes and gone, this isn't working. It's not working.
But okay, besides her, the thing that really hurts this movie is the fact that the best parts of it were the first 20 minutes.
Exactly. Before you came on, Dante, I was talking about that opening action scene with Basil, his sort of like scientist companion. They're after some antiquities because the Nazis are taking all these antiquities, loading it onto a train so they can take off and deliver to the Führer. And my German accent's not that good. Anyways, but like, that was kind of a fun, it was like, oh, this feels like old school Indiana Jones. And as like we were talking about in the car when we were driving back, like I could have actually watched just a de-aged Indiana Jones adventure and kind of been into it. Like,
yeah, because that felt like Indiana Jones, right? Like, I mean, that whole sequence felt like, oh, okay, this feels like Indiana Jones. Once we leave that time period, though, once we get into old Indiana Jones, it just falls apart from there.
It completely falls apart when you get to, like, he comes off like shirtless and he's like an old curmudgeon telling his neighbors to turn down the music, and
even that was pretty damn cliche. That was so cringe, man. We get it, you're old, right? But they had him actually play the old man part. You know what I mean?
I mean, that was a shirtless Harrison Ford looking like a shirtless guy, man of that age. is all I'll say. But it's and then once Phoebe, first of all, that was just like, oh, this is kind of sad. And like, this is not how I want to see Indiana Jones. And then Phoebe Waller-Bridge interrupts his class to be a know-it-all. And then they set off on an adventure where she's basically screws him over. And then she's being pursued by the CIA. One compliment I will give is the production design and the costuming and wardrobe I thought was fantastic for the 60s era, was just really good. They really captured that era in terms of like the colors and whatnot. And there was a character, which I was really surprised, Mason, played by Shawnette Renee Wilson, with she had the afro, and I thought she was kind of cool. I thought she was going to
cool.
do.
I liked her character a lot.
And the other thing was this, I'm trying to say some nice things because we're just going to harp on the bad stuff. But the other thing is there were some other good. Mads Mikkelsen was very good. Boyd Holbrook as Kleber was good. Jurgen Voller is what Mads Mikkelsen plays. Antonio Banderas has a part in it, which was surprising and kind of fun. But, like, and there were other heavies. Like, like Indiana Jones, like in the movies have kind of a where they've got like these side characters that are very memorable in terms of their look. I mean, down to the extras. So they got these little details that you would maybe fetishize over for an indie movie. They got a lot of those right, but the whole movie felt like AI made an Indiana Jones movie. Does that make sense? Like, it's like a copy of an Indiana Jones film.
Yeah. The problem is that it doesn't get any better as the movie goes on, right?
Right.
Because even towards the ending, I know we're not going to talk about spoilers yet, but
not yet.
It's just it's underwhelming. It ends in a very underwhelming way.
And there were so many moments where like the filmmakers are like, you like what you just saw? You're going to clap here. You're going to clap here, right? You're going to clap here. Wait, you're going to clap here, right? And then people didn't clap. So there were moments that I
okay. In all fairness with that, though, the fact that we saw that with critics, critics aren't usually the best audience, to judge your movie by anyway. Like, I mean, even the best movies I've been to, when it's a critic screening, they're not cheering, they're not clapping. It's more of the general crowd that does that. So I'm curious as to how the general public are going to take those scenes.
That's the thing, is like, I can never, Vorpal snacks and please clap. Please clap. Oh my God. That's when
Jeb Bush action, yeah.
That's when Jeb Bush, like, well, your political career is over and thank you. But no, it felt like there were so many please clap moments. But I don't know, like I can never. That's why I actually really don't like to see movies with a critics audience. It always kind of infuriates and frustrates me. So